The Batman is directed by Matt Reeves. I think he also co-wrote this as well. Stars Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Colin Farrell's in this. Jeffrey Wright is in this. There's a whole bunch of names I'm forgetting, but a whole bunch of people star in this. This has a big cast. Paul Dano, that's the other one I was thinking of, has a really nice big cast. And it is a Batman movie. It is the most recent rebooted Batman movie. Came out in 2022? 22? Does it say? It doesn't say. Okay, well, it came out in March of 2022, I believe. So yeah, this is the first one. Second one is supposed to come out now in, I think, 2026. We got a while before we get the sequel to this, but the most rebooted Batman movie. In this movie, Batman has to take down the Riddler. He's in his second year as Batman, so he's still pretty fresh to being Batman. Penguin's also in this. Falcone's in this big time. Catwoman is in this. Whole bunch of people in this movie, a whole bunch of villains in this movie as well. And I remember seeing this back in March and going, this is a really good movie. And I think I saw it 2 or 3 times in theaters. And then I picked it up on Blu-ray. Excuse me, I apologize. Burping. Anyways, I picked it up on Blu-ray during... My hair is just a mess. I picked it up on 4K on Black Friday that year. And I don't think I had watched it at all. I had not put in... I think I watched the bonus features on it, but I did not actually watch the physical copy until a couple days ago. And I thought to myself, why was that? Why was that? So as I'm watching this movie, I kind of realized why. And the big thing is, for me, is this movie's too ding-dang long. Now, it is a 3-hour-long movie, so it is long, but I've watched Avengers Endgame quite a few times, and that's a 3-hour-long movie. I've watched Titanic quite a few times. That's over 3 hours long. So that wasn't necessarily the thing. The thing I realized with this movie is it is just too long for its own good. This movie does not need to be 3 hours long. I think this movie could have been 2.5 hours, maybe 2 hours, 40 minutes, 45. I just think there's some stuff that could have been cut out of this movie. And so yeah, it's too long. There's certain things, especially towards the end, that happen. It just felt like it could have ended a little bit sooner. It felt like they're just setting up stuff for a sequel instead of just ending their movie. The thing that I said when I first saw this movie as well is I don't like how little Bruce Wayne is in this movie. Part of the reason why I love the character of Batman Bruce Wayne is because he's essentially 3 different people. He's Batman, he's Bruce Wayne depressed Batman, he's Playboy philanthropist Batman, or Bruce Wayne. And Playboy philanthropist is just not really in this movie. He is recluse Bruce Wayne, and when he goes out in public in this movie, they're like, oh, that's Bruce Wayne? Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that. Okay, Bruce Wayne. Or people are like, you haven't done anything. What are you doing? You're just sitting up in your mansion. And for me, I'm like, well, obviously he's Batman. He's rich. No one sees him. He's got to be Batman. And so that just bugs me about this movie. The other thing I kind of hate is this Bruce Wayne is like gothy emo Bruce Wayne, and I can't stand it. Now, Robert Pattinson as Batman, I really do enjoy. I think he's great. He's brutal. This movie is almost R-rated at times, in my opinion. It is dark. And it's crazy. I love the like Seven kind of vibe of this movie. It feels very David Finchery, scuzzy, gross, disgusting. I really do like that about this movie. And I love Paul Dano as this weird serial killer, kind of like Jigsaw kind of guy. I absolutely love that about this movie. Yeah, Jeffrey Wright, I think, is a great Gordon. He's not my favorite Gordon, but he's a great Gordon. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman is phenomenal. I absolutely love her. Colin Farrell as the Penguin is great. He's kind of crazy over the top. That's kind of Penguin. If we look back at Batman Returns, holy crap, was that cheesy and over the top. So yeah, he's really great too. The action sequences in this are phenomenal. That car chase is great where the car's flipped over and Batman's walking. It's such a great shot. What else? I will say the story in this just is a little all over the place. You got the stuff with Selina, you got the stuff with the Penguin, you got the stuff with Riddler, you got the stuff with Falcone. There's a lot going on here, and I think that's part of the reason, too, why maybe it could have just been a little bit shorter, and we could have saved some stuff for the sequel. It just felt like there's a lot of stuff being thrown in here that just doesn't necessarily need to be in here. It doesn't fully work with the story. Andy Serkis is the other actor that's in here, too. He's phenomenal as Alfred. He's a great Alfred. I love the idea that this Alfred essentially helped train Batman into being a ninja, essentially. I think that's really cool. I like that a lot. What else can I say about this movie? It has a great script. Like I said, action sequences are great. Cinematography in this is great. Michael Giacchino's score is really great. I love how they use Ava Marie a lot into their score. I think that worked really well. Like I said, the tone of this movie is just great. I love how dark and gritty it feels. This is a movie that used the volume in a very solid way. They use it when you need that landscape of the cityscape of Gotham that doesn't actually exist. Gotham City is not a real place, so you kind of got to make it up with that. That works. The way they use it in Thor: Love and Thunder and some other Marvel movies and crap like that does not work. So yeah, this movie used the volume correctly, and I like how they use that. For the most part, special effects in this look really great as well. I thought it really does look phenomenal. Yeah, I think my biggest issue with this movie is just how flippin' long it is. I think it was something I had mentioned originally when I first saw this movie, is that it's too long. But boy, is this movie too long. This movie does not need to be 3 hours long. It just does not. I don't know why that's become a thing where every movie needs to be like 3 hours long now. Movies should only be 3 hours long if they need to be 3 hours long. This movie just did not need to be 3 hours long. It's a little out of focus at time, and that does hurt the movie. I think when I originally saw this, I gave it like an 8 out of 10. I'll probably stick with that 8 out of 10, but it is borderline going towards 7 for me. The fact that I haven't watched this in almost 2 years, that's concerning to me. The fact that I don't absolutely pop this in all the time. The Dark Knight, I just re-saw in theaters again for in theaters for the 4th time, but I've seen it 157,000 times. That's a 2.5 hour movie. It's not that much different. A half hour is not that big of a change. So the fact that I don't ever want to rewatch this movie all the time kind of shows you something. But all in all, it's a great movie. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Like I said, I'm going to go 8 out of 10 still. It's borderline 7 for me, though. It really is. I think maybe the next time I watch this movie, it could be down to a 7. But as of now, I'm sticking with that 8. It is just a little too long. And, just a little too long is really my issue. A little too much going on, a little too convoluted and such like that. So, yeah. What do you guys think of The Batman? Have you guys rewatched this movie as much, as you have The Dark Knight? Have you watched it as much as you did Dark Knight Rises or Batman Begins? That is my question for you today. You guys have yourself a great night. Don't do anything I would do, and we will see you next time.